Okay. Just about. All right. Well, hello, everybody. We're getting started today on the Kickstart Kitchen. This is week 5 of 6. And we're going to be doing kind of an interesting show today in anticipation for Wednesday. So I'll talk about this later, but Wednesday is going to be a special show that you're going to want to catch, especially if you want to make something easy but fancy. And if you like scallops, you're really going to want to watch Wednesday's show. So Wednesday at noon, Central Standard Time, you want to make sure you watch it because we're going to do Coquille Saint-Jacques. Sounds cool, doesn't it? Coquille Saint-Jacques. It's really some really cool scallops. I'm going to show you how to do it very simply, very easily. Not going to even use a flour roux. So that's even easier. And it'll be healthier. So as we get started, this is week 5 of 6 of the Kickstart Kitchen. I'm going to start, like I always do, with some Stronghold, which is a supplement that is for anabolic resistance. In other words, it helps prevent muscle breakdown. It helps to build muscle. I'm 73 years old. I have gained 9 pounds of lean muscle mass. I'm up to 30% lean muscle at 73. And by the way, just quite secret is I'm not working out. But anyway, so this is a blend of creatine, leucine, and HMB, which is the essential 3. And I drink this before I'm going to eat and before I take any fiber. So, and it's so good. Anyway, I want to catch you up on last week. We had a big finish for the month. And the company has blessed me with a cruise for 4 days, and also 2 full nights at the Orlando World Resort in Orlando, the Marriott, 2 days. And we're going to have some incredible speakers there. And there's still time if you wanted to come and hear Dr. Jamie, who is the author and host of Fit and Fabulous. Dr. Carlos, who is the author of The Metabolic Miracle. Dr. Nick, who is an expert and awesome board-certified family medical allopath. Dr. Cynthia Thurlow, who is the author of The Intermittent Fasting Transformation. Dr. Benjamin Bickman. Dr. Benjamin Bickman, of course, is who? Well, he's the world expert on really metabolic health. Why the author of Why We Get Sick. Also, Dr. Jason Fung, an incredible man, author of the Diabetes Code and the Obesity Code. And Nina is going to be there, the big fat surprise. So those are some speakers. If you'd like to have the opportunity to come, just put tickets in the chat, and I'll message me tickets, because sometimes the one platform doesn't let messages come through. So message me personally, directly, if you'd like to learn how to get some tickets. So, yeah, so those speakers, all one day in Orlando on November 8th. November 8th. So you want to make sure you get that. It's a weekend. Come down and listen to these great speakers. Again, just one more time. One ticket gets you for all of them. Nina, PhD, the big fat surprise. Dr. Jason Fung, Obesity Code and the Diabetes Code. Dr. Ben Bickman, Why We Get Sick. The world's leading metabolic researcher. Cynthia Thurlow, the Intermittent Fasting Transformation. Dr. Nick, who's an expert and certified CrossFit trainer. We've got Dr. Carlos, the Metabolic Miracle, and Dr. Jamie Seaman, Fit and Fabulous Podcasters. So they're going to be all, if you'd like to get tickets, just drop me the word, message me personally, tickets, and I'll make sure we get to that. So one of the things we're going to talk about as my alarm goes off, the grandfather clock, as you can hear that. Welcome to noon o'clock in Central Standard Time in Illinois. Beautiful fall day. It's going to get about, 88 degrees. It's going to drop here. But one of the reasons we're here and we're talking about, because I live like you have. And maybe you're like I was, and maybe you don't want to be like I was, because this was me, Mr. Belly So Big. Mr. Belly So Big. And we're going to the Bahamas, and the Bahamian children are who named me Mr. Belly So Big back when I was a swimming coach at a university level, and also had the opportunity to coach some of the best Olympians in the world. And I was blessed to have that. But I also look like a blimp. I look like Mr. Belly So Big. That's my nickname. And in 107 days, I was able to fix myself. We'll talk about that. And so now I have a 28-inch waist. So from maple syrup, where I had a blood glucose of 834 and an A1C of 18.1, to 90 in 107 days on this protocol. So that's what we're going to be talking about today and what I wanted to help avoid for you guys. Now, in the Kickstart Kitchen, we've had 4 weeks of meal plans. Week 4, week 3, week 2, week 1. So we're on week 5 now. We're going to start look through some of these, but Wednesday, guys, you want to make sure you're here live, because Wednesday I'm going to do my world famous coquille Saint-Jacques, which are what? Scallops. They are toasted, beautifully seared scallops, then put into a bake with Gruyere cheese. It's and mushroom. Guys, it's phenomenal. You're going to love it. If you like scallops, you're going to love this. And so that's my special on Wednesday. So week 5 of 6 on Wednesday, this week, in 2 days, you're going to see we're going to do a coquille Saint-Jacques. Now I'll prep it all up, and I'll probably bake one, but the rest I'm going to save and bake for the evening. Now the one thing about these meal plans is you can get these in our Kickstart program. If you're on our Kickstart program, the great thing about these is that every day is laid out. There's the shopping list for the week, so you can check your fridge, freezer, and pantry to see if you need to get anything, because you may already have all the inventory there. Isn't that cute? And then each day, then the recipes are there, and even what the picture should look like. Now, the one thing about some people really are afraid of cooking. I mean, cooking is Uber Eats or order pizza or go out. And you know, and we know, and you know that that's not the healthiest choice, right? You already know that, correct? Eating out is not the number one choice. Cooking your own food is the number one choice, because you have full control of all of the ingredients, right? So where do you think you get your healthiest choices? With you having 100% control, or just driving through and getting whatever chemicals they put in a bag for you? Yeah, of course. We know that logically. If you don't, that's fine. I know who you are. You know who I am. Please continue on, because you won't like anything I say. Save yourself some frustration. Okay? Now, when you do your own cooking and you have a recipe, I want you guys to relax, because recipes are suggestions. They're suggestions. Now, if you bake, now you're in the laboratory. Baking is science. Baking, you have to do specific measurements, even in weighing, to grams, ounces, right? You have to weigh, measure, test, proof. Everything is specifically science-based. Cooking, we get to play with our food, which is why I love to cook. That's why in a previous home, I had 2 kitchens. I had a gas kitchen and an electric kitchen because I used one kitchen specifically for some types of cooking and another for another. Then I have all kinds of toys and tools, from simplest thing as a waffle maker or a griddle to an air fryer to a sous vide machine, right? Sous vide, have you heard of sous vide? If you haven't heard of sous vide, put that in the chat because that's a fun way to cook. It's a unique way to cook. And it's just using science, but boy, does it do some really cool things. But you all know you have a microwave, you've got a blender, you got a coffee maker, maybe you have a blender of some kind, a juicer of some kind, maybe you have a twin screw compression revelry type thing, maybe you have convection ovens, maybe you have air fryers, you have combinations of these things. You've got a grill, you've got an egg, the green egg, you've got a Traeger, you've got a smoker, you've got, everybody has some kinds of toys and tools, an oven, a microwave, popcorn machine. Even kids in a dormitory may have a hot pot, right, or a crock pot, right? So you have all these types of tools. So it's having the ability to know what to put where and when gives you the opportunity to have full control, to be empowered to what you're going to eat. Okay. Now, do we always do that? Heavens forbid. I know we don't always do that. And when we don't always do that, one of the things that happens is what? We buy into what we have been marketed towards. Think of every jingle you've ever heard. Bum, 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 right? Bet you can't eat just. Where's the 2 all beef special? Bet you can't eat just. Once you pop, you can't. And how many more of those do you know and can think off, rattle them off, right? Those types of things are things that go into your head. Snap, crackle, and, right? What about others? What kind of cereals do you remember? Who are some of the characters that you remember from your Saturday morning cartoons? There's Tony, and he goes, "That's there, grr." And what about the bear, right? The honey bear? What about the toucan? What about, oh my gosh, Captain, right? What about Count? Count, you are, right? Everybody, all those were sold to you for your cereal. You weren't going to share that with anybody else because that was yours, right? That was how you were sold to. How many of you can name 10 without thinking a snap, 10 fast food restaurants? Right now, you could name 10 of them, just bam, 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 bam. If you ask a 5-year-old how many could they get off right off the bat? Probably 5 right now, right? 5 right now. And isn't it funny that we don't go, what are you hungry for? What would you like to eat today? It's like, which drive-thru do you want to go to? Yeah. And don't they have all about the same thing? If it's a burger, some will be square, some will be round. Some are fried, some are grilled, some are char grilled. But they're all served the same way with what? Carbohydrates on both sides. Bread, right? Diabetes on both sides. And then they're served with what? Maybe some yellow goop, some orange, red goop, right? That are all have what? High fructose corn syrup in it. Along with a little basket or a bag or a carton of what? Potatoes that are fried in what? That are rich in what? There's sticks of carbohydrates, sticks of diabetes to add along with the carbohydrate, the bun and the salad and all the other types of things along with a cup of that, those things you already know aren't the healthiest choices. Convenience versus health. So there's an old saying, and I'm old, I'm 73, right? But there used to be, back in the day, we actually used to do oil changes. You learned how to do oil changes. Yeah, most of you, if you have a car, you just drive it into someplace. You have no idea what goes on, right? You go in, and all of a sudden, people are underneath the hood, they're on top of the hood, and they say, okay, you're done. Do you want to get this kind of filter or that kind of filter? But back in the day, there was an oil filter commercial, and the guy, the mechanic in the picture, dressed as a mechanic, whether it was, I don't know, but he had a wrench in one hand and he had an oil filter in this hand. And the ad read what? Pay me now or you pay me later. Guys, it's the same thing as we're doing to ourselves. Right now, with what you eat, every time you go through a drive-through, every time you go to a fast food restaurant and sit down and order, every time you eat out like that, and most of you eat out twice a day, maybe 3 times a day, go through the breakfast to get your malted coffee and muffin or whatever. And then you have that, maybe when you have one afternoon, then you have an energy drink in the afternoon. And maybe that lunchtime break that you had, you didn't bring your own lunch. You and the kids go out someplace else. And then at night on the way home, you pick something up from what? A fast food place of some kind. Whether it's chicken, whether it's fish, whether it's beef, whatever it is, whether it's on a round platter, right? All of those things are pay me now or pay me later. And what is the later you're going to be paying with? Your health. You're going to be paying with your health. So wouldn't it make sense to invest in yourself now and not letting your body break down later? Because it's a progressive issue. We eat ourselves into this mess. We can eat ourselves out of this mess. I'm trying to help. My goal and reason I'm passionate about this is because I'm alive. And I'm alive. Seriously, no joke. I did this right here. See all these symptoms? I wrote down there's 68 on here. There's 68 symptoms going from neurological and cognitive to metabolic and digestive to cardiovascular and blood markers to physical appearance and skin to urinary and hydration, hormone and reproductive, plus another 18 at the bottom. I had 58 of 68 of these symptoms and signs. Guys, I was not healthy. And literally, I should be dead. Why? Because I went and had my blood drawn in October of 24. In October of 24, I went in and had my blood drawn at 2 in the afternoon. Now, why did I go at 2 instead of in the morning? It was because I'm smart. I'm smart. I know the longer I wait after my last meal, the lower my blood sugar is going to be. My fasting blood glucose would come down the longer I was away from having anything to eat or drink. So I went at 2 in the afternoon and had my blood drawn. And I got my blood drawn, had the lipid panel, all that, and I left. Well, what happened is this. That afternoon, starting about 3 o'clock, my phone was blowing up. Unbeknownst to me, the laboratory that had my blood work and the clinic where the blood work was done, both of them spent the day frantically trying to get a hold of me. When was the last time when was the last time your laboratory was trying to get a hold of you? Yeah, and the clinic. Both panicking. I called up the next morning, and they immediately went into triage. George, are you dizzy? Are you sweating? Are you nauseous? Are you fainting? Are you palpitating? Is your heart beating fast? Are you sweating? Have you been weak? Have you passed out? Have you fallen down? Have you been weak? Are you feeling nauseous? Is there ringing in your ears? Is there vision blurry? I'm going, no. I go, what's up? And they go, George, we've been trying to call you all day. Why didn't you answer your phone? Well, I told them because I was golfing. No golfer's going to answer their phone. That's just not what you do. That's not etiquette. So I didn't answer my phone. Well, I called them that morning, of course, and they go, you got to come in right now to the clinic. You got to come in right now. It's a 20-minute drive. But is there someone that could drive you here? No, I'll get there. So I drove to the clinic. I got in. And it's a nice clinic. Plants and music and leather chair. I mean, stuffed leather chairs, not those, Masonite ones, the folding chair kind. This is a nice plush clinic I go to. And you would have thought I was in inner city ER because they rushed me right back in, and there was like 4 attendees and other people on staff that were there, and they went through the triage again. Are you sweating? Are you blurry vision? Are you ringing in your ears? Is your heart beating fast? Were you sure you were fasting? Yeah. Why didn't you call us? It's because I was golfing. So what's going on? They said that my blood glucose, fasting blood glucose, was 834. 834 fasting. Look that up. Look 834 up, and you will find that it is critical. Emergency care is needed immediately. And my A1C was 18.1. That is incredibly poorly managed. That was me. I did that to myself. Food got me into this mess. Food get me out. But think about this. This is what really makes me start to weep and cry and realize I had fasted for an 834. What was my normal? What was my normal blood glucose on a normal day? Eating 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times a day, constantly eating, constantly drinking, constantly nibbling, constantly snacking. What was my number? How high was it? Guys, I've been blessed because I went down that yo-yo diet path for so long that God spared me to help bring this message to you, because in 107 days with no medication, no medical intervention, no plan other than my own, in 107 days, I found a natural protocol, and my blood glucose went down to 90. I wasn't counting carbs. I don't count carbs this day. I don't count calories. To this day. I don't follow special dietary restrictions. Yeah, I'll still have a pizza. I went and had some of my grandchildren down around the St. Louis area playing soccer and basketball. They're, junior high, grade school, 6th, 7th graders. I watched them, and we went and we ate at a bakery. This is where we had our lunch, was at a bakery. And I had a nice bowl of French onion soup, cup of French onion soup. And I had a croissant with a chicken salad. Okay. I had all that. No guilt, no worry, because I introduced fiber before that. But look at the things that happened to me. And maybe some of these things are happening to you. I had brain fog. I had difficulty concentrating, memory issues. I had mood swings. I was irritable, anxiety, depression, headaches I don't have because I don't believe in them. I know you do. Some of you have severe migraines. Guys, that's insulin resistance. That's sugar. That's why they have those. Dizziness and poor sleep quality. Just on the top 10, I had 9 out of these 10. I wasn't healthy. But wait, as they say, there's more. Let's look at metabolic and digestive issues. Craving constantly for sugar and carbs. Is that you? Can you relate? Certainly that was me. I always had a cup, a drink, whatever with me, and snacks. And watermelon, grapes, watermelon. I love watermelon. Did I say watermelon? Grapes, that kind of thing. Chips, nuts. Yep, that were there. Salty, sweet. Constant hunger, fatigue, even after meals, bloating, slow digestion, constipation. Sometimes you go 2-3 days, you're drinking all this food. Well, that should be able to pass. Guess what? There was no fiber, so there's nothing to sweep it on through, and you get plugged up. Increased appetite, feeling tired despite eating, weight gain despite eating normally, and difficulty losing weight. Anybody recognize any of those? Yeah, 10 there, 1 there. So 19 out of 20. Am I healthy? Well, I'm normal. I'm fine. I don't have no problems. Sure. Okay. Well, let's continue. Let's just see how I was. Cardiovascular and blood markers. High blood pressure. Yeah, I wasn't on any medications though. I'm just too macho. It's not that big a deal. I'm alive. I'm fine, right? Elevated triglycerides. Can you imagine having a blood glucose of 834? Well, that's why I got the nickname of maple syrup. Triglycerides are essential, that number. Not your cholesterol. Cholesterol, they keep lowering that number. Guys, you need cholesterol. It's involved in building of every cell wall. You think you need your cells? Yes, therefore you need cholesterol. Stop lowering that. Do you also need sex hormones? Yeah, you need cholesterol for sex hormones. Unless you don't want to have sex, you don't mind being infertile, you don't mind having PCOS, you don't mind having ED, no problem. Oh, the brain is made up of cholesterol. But that's why should we have cholesterol? Just make sure you keep lowering that, right? Oh, and did you know they just lowered the normal range for blood pressure? They just lowered the number. I ask you why after all these decades, why did they just lower the number for blood pressure? To keep you healthier or to sell you more drugs? Just asking for a friend. Let's continue on, shall we? All right, so we have low HDL. That's the one you want. And then you need to know this number. Divide your triglyceride, I just said, by the HDL. And if you're over 2, we need to talk because you are headed towards disaster. Triglycerides divided by HDL, that number should be under 2. If not, you're headed for disaster. We should talk. And high LDL, that's the bad cholesterol. That's the dense ones. Elevated fasting blood glucose, 834. Ta-da. Okay. Also, elevated insulin. Guys, I tell you, demand, and I'm not joking, demand that your clinicians test your fasting insulin. That is such an important marker, but they'll go, oh, we don't do that. Ask them why. Well, they'll say, they may say, well, it's unreliable, or we just don't do that. You know why they don't do it? Because it's going to tell you, you get that number and you get your triglyceride divided your HDL number, in advance, the bridge is out, you're going to be diabetic. Do you want to know after the fact, or do you want to know in advance? If you're driving down a highway and the bridge is out, do you want to find out why you still have an exit? You can turn around, or do you want to run into the wall and it says, oh, the bridge is out. Congratulations, you're diabetic. Which do you want to do? It's your life. You want control? Follow some of these suggestions. Demand you get your fasting insulin number. Write that down. Know your triglyceride divided by your HDL number. Write that down. Those are critical numbers that you should know. And if your doctor doesn't know them, demand that you get these. It's your health. It's your numbers. You need to know these things at a minimum. At a minimum. Now, also, increased heart rate, increased A1C. Now, see, the wonderful thing about A1C and also those markers is that you can kind of control those, but they're tending to go up. If we know these things are happening, let's take control now. Do you want to have control? Or are you just going to say, wow, that's okay. They know what they're doing. Do they? I question you, do they? How much nutritional coursework does your health professional have? Do they tell you what I don't feel well? Well, your numbers are good. You'll be fine. You're doing fine. Just keep doing what you do. Or they may say, what? How many of you heard? Well, just move more, eat less, and move more. Oh, that's profound. You can get that from a fourth grader. What kind of medical advice is that? Move more, eat less. Genius. That's worth a college degree, isn't it? You can get that out of your magazines. You can get that off a billboard. You can get that off of anywhere. Get real, true advice. Get your fasting insulin number. Your triglyceride divided by your HDL number. Those are imperative to know to see if you're on the course towards diabetes. If you are in the course of insulin resistance, because guess what? All of these symptoms, everything I'm talking to you about, are signs of insulin resistance. It's signs that the cells will not accept any more glucose that you're swallowing down because you're eating 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day. So there we go. Oh, poor circulation in the hands and feet. Guess what? There's 10 more. So we got 10, 20, 30. And of the 30, I had 29 of them. Should we continue? Are you getting the picture here? Possibly you have abdominal fat. You think I did? Do you think I had some abdominal fat? Anybody? Mr. Belly so big? Anybody? Do you have abdominal fat? Do you know someone that does? Skin tags, the little bumps coming out. You know what those are? That's a sign that your body is saying, we got no room in the body. We can't do anything. You grow. Get it out. We can't pee it out fast enough. We can't store it anywhere else. Start growing. Acne, your back. Again, sores, boils that your inside of the body cannot handle any more of what you're eating. Stop it. Stop it. Dark patches in your skin, ankylosis. Looks like you have felt. Look like you can't get clean, right? That's not dirt. Puffy face. You think I look like a puffy face? Yeah. That's inflammation. And then you have swollen ankles, ladies, more ladies than guys. And then what about oily skin? How about hair thin? I was losing my hair. I'm not now. It's great. Solid and it's growing back more. But maybe ladies, you're growing hair on your face. You shouldn't be, right? And they'll say, oh, that's just you're getting older. Oh, you're just in menopause. Poppycock. Those are blowing you off, not going to the real cause. The real cause is insulin resistance, which is happening because you're eating too often and you're not giving your body a chance to relax and let the insulin do its work and fast. Also, non-alcoholic fatty liver. Who do you know that's got that going on with the visceral fat? That's not the good fat. That's not cute and that's not funny. Urinary hydration, frequent urination. Guys, I was going to the bathroom every 2 hours, 24 hours a day. Increased thirst. I was always drinking. Always peeing. You thought, I go, okay, I'll stop drinking. Guess what? Couldn't do it. Why? Because I was still peeing because I still had so much blood sugar. I still had so much going on. Dry mouth. Nocturnia, you wake up at night to go to the bathroom? Girls with your hot flashes, you got to get up and go to the shower and cool down, and you're still sweating, you're blowing. No, insulin resistance. Irregular menstrual cycles, not mine. Polycystic ovarian syndrome, not me, because I'm a girl. Low testosterone, guys, yeah, that's us. And it's a little weak willy, yep. And it's because you're old. No, it's not. It is not because you're old. period, end of story. There are people with ED in their 30s and 20s. There's guys that are 80s and 90s have better ED and TD than you do. Why? Because they don't have insulin resistance. You do. You're eating and poisoning yourself to make everything kind of not work. And then type 2 diabetes type 3, that's Alzheimer's, inflammation, autoimmune, that are under autoimmune disease, pre-diabetic, itis, gout, sarcopenia, food addictions, blurry vision, neuropathy, IBS, gut dysbiosis, psoriasis, retinopathy, Hashimoto's, acid reflux, and overeating. There's 68 on this chart. I violated 58 of them at one time. I'm alive only through the grace of God. There are people that had comas and passed at levels of 600. We just buried I'm on a mission, along with my friends, to save and change the world, to save lives. We eat our way into this. We eat 5, 6, 7 times a day, don't we? Are you one of these guys? What happens is when you do this, when we eat like this, have you been told to have 3 meals a day and then snack every 2 hours? That is incredibly stupid advice unless you have some major medical issue, because all you're doing is overstimulating, overcreating the need for insulin to be pushed out, because you have to have an equal or greater amount of insulin to push the glucose into the cell walls. Well, guess what? The cells get full, just like the closets in your house. They get full. And it's got to go somewhere else. It's got to go somewhere else. But you keep buying crap, don't you? So once your house is full of all the crap that you're buying, you go rent space, right? Someplace else. And you put your stuff in there and you fill that up until you fill that one up. You just keep buying more crap. Just like this, you keep eating more crap. You keep feeding your body more crap. It's got to go somewhere. Stop it. Food got us into this mess. Food can get us out. You can do this. You can. You can take control. You can. So what we want to look to do is see what can we do to burn some of this off. Wouldn't that make some sense? Instead of doing this, why don't we try to burn some of it off? Anybody want to burn some off? Yeah, I know that. I did, but I couldn't because I was doing this. I belong to one of those clubs where they sell pastries and donuts and breads, and you pay X amount. You pay, say, $15 a month, and you can just come in every 2 to 4 hours and get another cup of another cup of drink, which is a loss leader, so that you buy another muffin or piece of bread or a cookie or a quiche or something other than that, right? Or you buy those great big gazillion guzzling cups because you get a free refill or a 50-cent refill. While you're there, you grab another donut or piece of pizza or whatever, candy bar. Why? Because it's just right there. And everything is set up for you to spend money, and you don't even know how much you spend because most of the time you use plastic. You're not reaching in and counting out pennies and dollars thinking, well, I just worked half an hour. I just worked an hour to be able to buy this cup of diabetes, all right? That big gallon thing you're drinking. I just worked 5 hours so I could buy this breakfast sandwich. I worked 1 hour of my life so I could do this drive-through, so I could have this diabetes in a bag. If you had to do it by cash, you would slow down a little bit, because this is what's happening. So we want to burn more fat. We need to do what? We need to take some control. And my analogy is this. How about you look at eating food like goalposts? It's football season. I'm a huge college football fan. But the score goes when the ball goes between the goalposts, right? When the ball goes between the goalposts, that's points. That's good. So how about we think about eating as the goalpost? Eat inside the goalpost. Now you can move the goalpost left or right. You can go earlier. You can go later, right? Cool, do that. Trick your body up. If you're taking a thyroid medication, maybe you take it at 10 in the circadian rhythm. Means you're going to eat at 10:30. Cool. Then you know what your start and stops are. Now you know where you're going to go. Don't eat before that, and don't eat after that. Those are out of bounds. Those are no good. If you're going to snack, snack inside. Snack between the goalposts. It's all good. Because then, guess what? When you do spike that glucose, when you do spike it, you're going to be spiking it inside of the goalpost. That gives insulin a chance to burn right there. Insulin's going to burn right there. On the outside, you're going to burn, and then you're going to burn fat. You cannot burn fat and glucose at the same time. There are two different energy sources. So that's when we start looking at eating in the windows. And when you start looking at that, the next thing is eat food in this order: fiber, fat, protein, and carb. If you think about it this way, it's F off. Fiber, let's go fasting, right? Let's go fasting. Then let's go to the order of food, which is fiber, fat, protein. Let's make protein start with an F, because you don't say Filipino, you say Filipino. So let's make fiber an F word. So then you're doing what? Order of food. Well, we are fasting, order of food, fiber, fat, protein. Then we go to the carb at the very end. That's how that plays out. So that way we're burning our fat until we burn our carbs. So for example, if you take medication, if you're on some kind of prescription drugs, and the first thing you do in the morning, you get up and you take those, you broke your fast. Because a lot of them, and most of them, are sugar-coated. You broke your fast. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. It is important, but there's nowhere in the world other than being sold to you to buy some more oats and Kellogg's and Quakers that you have to have it first thing in the morning. Breaking your fast is your first meal whenever that occurs. So how about we move that up towards noon? How about we move that towards noon and shrink our eating time in between the goalposts? And our eating zone. Think about it, eating zone. You want to have that malted coffee, then have it here. You got to have that bagel. You got to have those pretzels. You got to have that licorice, that yum, whatever it is, have it here. Have it in the eating zone. Score in the eating zone and burn the rest of the time. So this is called sleep fast. Once you stop eating, it's going to take 2 to 4 hours for your insulin. All it gets its job done. And now you get to sleep fast. And you get to keep that going. You have control. You have control to when you take your first bite, the first swallow. Now, you could extend this fast in the morning by drinking a chlorogenic acid tea. If you'd like to know more about that, message me, T, and I'll get you information on that. Because what it does for you is help extend that sleep fast without any anxiety. So that you don't end up like this. I want you to end up more like this guy over here. See him? That's a 28-inch waist. That's me, 73 years of age. See me over there? That's me hardly being able to get out of the swimming pool. Mr. Belly so big. This is what a good meal will look like when you follow the order of food. You can see that I have a cup of fiber. That's what this would be here. I drink my fiber. On purpose, so I know that I'm getting the fiber. Then in my first part of my meal, in this bowl, I had what? Spinach, which is what? Fiber. Avocado, which is what? Fat and fiber. Walnuts, which are what? Fat and fiber. Mushrooms, which are what? Fiber. And I had cottage cheese for a dressing, which is what? Fat and protein. Now I come over here to my plate, and my plate I've got dried grilled chicken breast. Not with the wet sauce, not with any sugars, with seasonings, protein. And next to that is a garden tomato, which grew right out over here in the garden. And it is done the way God made it. It's wrapped in fiber. God made it that our carbohydrates were wrapped in fiber. That should tell you the lesson is to eat fiber first. God put fiber around it. Apples, fiber around it. God didn't create apple juice to sell it to you and add sugar to it. God naturally made apples the right amount of sweetness. Now man has taken them and made them bigger. Why? Because you buy things by the pound. It's surely profit. You know those baby carrots? They don't grow like that. You know what they are? Those little quote baby carrots are ugly carrots that couldn't sell unless they were cut down like that. It was a way to cut waste. Great job, great entrepreneurship, squat for value. They're sold to you as baby carrots, and you think, oh, look at him in baby carrots, and they're so healthy. Poppycock. No, it's marketing to you. Yeah, marketing to you. If you want to have fun, go to the store and start looking at the backs of. Go down the aisle with all the chips. Go down that aisle and pick any brand and flip it around and look to see and prove me wrong that the ingredients are not always sugar of some kind, maltodextrin is one of them, high fructose corn syrup, whatever. There's always going to be a sugar in there. There's always going to be a salt in there. There's always going to be a starch, multiple starches, and there's always going to be some seed oils like palm oil, soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, sesame seed oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, palm oil, cottonseed oil, rapeseed oil, seed oils, and salt. There are going to be those four things in every bag up and down that chip aisle. Every bag. Unless it's only corn chips. If it says corn chips, organic corn chips, and salt, that might be an exclusion. But if they're made by a manufacturing multiple company with all the other facings there, guess what? You're going to find those four ingredients. Every time. That's in the chips. So think about those four ingredients. You got a salt, some kind of sugar, usually high fructose corn syrup is one of them, right? Maltodextrin for a starch or some kind of starches, right? Some kind of modified starch, right? And seed oils. All up and down the chip aisle. Chip aisle, look at the crackers. Now go to the cereal aisle. Go to the cereal aisle. Start looking at those. Let's go to the mac and cheese aisle. Look at those. Go to the frozen dinners section. Go to the frozen dinner section and turn around, look at the labels, and you will find what? At least 3, if not all 4 of those groups. They have the same recipe. Do you not understand what I'm trying to explain to you? You are fed for their profit. You're fed not for quality, for profit. So I don't want you to go down this path. I don't want you to be sick. I have been fat, I have been sick, and I have been nearly dead. I don't want you to go down that path. So in our Kickstart program in the kitchen today, we've talked a little about, we have the plans and the menus. They're there. This Wednesday, tune in. It's going to be a special program because I'm going to be making coquille Saint-Jacques. Now, 2 weeks ago, I made my world famous George's cauliflower mash. This episode that I do on coquille Saint-Jacques, which are pan-seared scallops, will be epic as well. I look forward to having you kids on. I want to again just remind you, you're going to eat from now on. If you're going to pick one thing up, today's start, you can do this starting tonight. Consciously eat your fiber first, then the fats, then the protein, and carbs are absolutely last. Next time you go to the doctor, make sure that you are getting your fasting insulin and your triglycerides and HDL numbers. Make sure you have those things for sure. Make sure you know your A1C. Then get more rest and start eating inside the food zone. Eat inside the scoring zone, the eating zone. In there, extend your fast by not snacking so often. These are things you can do right now. You can start these today. Okay, you can start doing this today. And that will help you feel better tomorrow and forward. If you want to know the secret to how I naturally changed my trajectory of my health and why I'm still alive, private message me, help, and I'll get that information for you. I'll just share it with you. Openly share it for you. I've got a 4-minute video you can look at. You like it, great. You don't, I don't know. That's great. But at least you'll look at it. You'll be know. I appreciate any comments that you could leave me in the chat. I thank you very much for coming on board today. I'm going to end now. It's a little about 10 minutes to the hour. Think about Wednesday. Come back Wednesday and watch me do my famous coquille Saint-Jacques. All right? Thank you. Have a blessed day. You had a good walk.
Well, I'm still walking.
Okay.
I just walked up to the walking path to the cornfields.
Okay.
Nice crap. I got on at Thomas Park, and I'm back at Thomas Park, so I'm gonna kind of go around the neighborhood.
Okay.
So,
And that's where? Where's Thomas Park?
you know where that pond is in Sterling on the Boulevard?
Okay.
It's right before, anyway.
Yeah, I got an idea.
Yeah, it's in our old neighborhood.
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
we used to fish.
Yep.
So it's a nice walking path, goes through the cornfield by the church. Really nice. And the cornfields are spread out, they're not right up against the sidewalk.
Okay.
So,
And it's safe for you?
yeah, I could that one walk, and I said, are there any creepy people down there? He said, no.
Okay.
And they have a dog park here in the park too, so. But, yeah, so. No, it's safe there.
All right. Very good.
Good, how's your day?
Well, I just got off on my live.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you called me during it, which is fine.
What?
I say you called me during that, which is fine.
Oh, okay. The cooking one?
Yeah,
Oh, what'd you do?
I just yelled at him.
Yelled at him.
I talked to people for an hour, for 45 minutes. It was, and I just got on a roll. I just thought I did a live
Oh,
without cooking.
yeah.
I had stuff out that could have done, the wraps and that kind of stuff, but I didn't.
Yeah. So are we gonna do that for dinner then?
I'm going to go grab a couple potatoes, and I thought I could.
Yeah, potatoes?
We have one,
Okay.
and we have one sweet potato, one white potato. I could do that, but I was gonna make like a hash with a pork,
Okay.
mushrooms, potatoes, pork, peppers. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I would put some sweet potato in there then.
Okay, I won't put the sweet potato.
I think they're just the white.
Yeah, I'll get one more white potato because we need more potato in it.
Okay.
Because that's not a very big one. It feels a little soft.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll go grab that. All right, I gotta jump. Love you.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye. Yes.
Hey.
Hello.
Sorry, I was listening to you. I thought you were still live.
Oh, no, I just got off.
No, you're still live.
Oh, am I?
Yes.
Well, I'm live on what? TikTok?
Facebook.
Facebook, really? Well, that's interesting. Well, let's see. What is it? Facebook on Facebook Live, or is it Facebook on? Oh, it is. Hey guys, how are you? You're not supposed to be live.